Hey guys, what's up? My name's Debbie. Welcome to my channel. We are on part 13, I think, of the Wisconsin v. Darrell Brooks trial. This is a trial it happened in 21, so 22? Happened in November 21st, 2021. And the trial was a year later, so 2022. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Carla. Hey, Jill. Hope you feel better. Are you leaving? Bye. Jill's been sick. Hey, Ken. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, let's see what trivia we have from Judy today. Brooks, a self-described aspiring rapper, wrote lyrics in his songs suggesting an interest in violence. Brooks included links on social media to his songs, several of which seemingly celebrate violence and call police pigs. In a biography on social media, he states his desire to turn the life he lived on the streets into music. Huh. Really? In the 70s, when police were first starting to be called pigs, Leo's coined it to mean pride, integrity, guts on the street. Oh, I never heard that. I played part of the video, but I don't have the whole thing. Is the whole video on YouTube somewhere? No, that's not it. Okay, I think I found it. Hey, Wiggles. Hey, Marty. Well, if I do, I'll just delete it.
D-Mark got that heat. I just got a load worth about a half a ticket. 30 in the blicker when I'm out here chasing chicken. Was observant to the game when I used to play the benches. Now I swipe Da Vinci, got him looking at me different. I can't miss him, yeah. AR with extension, yeah. Venom when I kiss him, yeah. Kidnap you and misses, yeah. Work all in the kitchen, damn. Money by the ceiling fan. Shorty wanna take a chance. I need a cash advance. Only fuck with real gritters, and I've been around gorillas ever since a little nigga fucking on my babysitter. Put some prices on a nigga, you know they gon' come and get you. You see how them hollows did him, now he look like Tyson hit him. I was in the slums, any weather, I was still trapping, sliding on the pussy early morning, bitch you still lacking. Caught him in the mall, had to tuck it in my heel figure. You know I got steel with him, fully not that little pistol. Heard they putting cameras on the lights, bitch we still dealing. Give a fuck about the past, nigga I'ma still kill you. No love for the suckers, listen, put them in the field, we bliss them. Shoot out all the ammunition, they move like some caterpillars. Post this on your social feed, addies that extend release. 2 cent boy, your talk is cheap. I won't stop till you deceased. Coming out your face, you bleed. Carbons, we gon' sweep the scene. Senses, we gon' find the heat. Take you out the movie screen. Shout out to my shooter team. They gon' handle teams for the revenue. Can't even eat off these dishes, they got residue. Remember when I used to play the hall back in middle school? Remember when them cases had me stuck in that cubicle? Playing like you stupid dog, you know what I do to you. Cooler on the text so it keep shooting when I shoot at you. Panoramic musical, beat you like I'm Rougarou. Call a Uber before you double back and hit the Uber too. Tapping with my grower, I need 20 when you shoot them through. Bustin' plays, bumming through the line, better watch my J's. Diamond frame, shutty, these Cavalli, these ain't Cartier. Get the face, then I knock the shutty out of negligee. Blood hit me from a seal, told me get the cake. I don't wait for nothing, bitch, I'm running to the real estate. Stay away from suckers, I don't fuck with niggas anyway. Snitching niggas, hating niggas, stay the fuck up out the way. Got another low, how we playing with them digits. Weighing up them bowls, selling coke around the digi. Playing with them bloods, they gon' pop you like a skillet. Nigga, I'm a menace and that's word to Mr. Wilson.
So yeah, there is your raised in a Christian home, Bible toting, but I don't know what else to call him. Pretend Christian. Welcome back, Ozzy. Jeez. And it's not even good rap either. It's just the same sound over and over again with rap that the words just ran together. Good rap's got to have a chorus. There wasn't even a chorus. Yeah, that was, what was that? I mean, I'm white, but I like the occasional rap song, but that was awful. What was that? Okay. Okay. That was weird. It says it's playing. Maybe it's because it's on the flag and nothing is happening.
Your next witness.
Defense calls Heather R. Reed.
Thank you.
Oh, Ozzy, because it was the middle of the night for you. It got entered in. But not as his defense. it got entered in because a still shot at the very end of the video when his back was turned, it got entered in, and the detective was asked to identify him, and he said that that was Darrell Brooks, but his back was turned. So then when he cross-examined him, he raised his stink about, how do you know that's me? And he says, because I've seen the whole video. So when redirect happened, the whole video got played. Well, I don't think, was it the whole entire video or just part of it? But without sound. So, yeah, I figured you went to bed. You missed. You need to go back and watch what you missed. You missed a lot. It was the whole thing? Okay. That seemed longer for some reason with the music. Okay. It just seemed longer with the music for some reason. But, yeah. Yeah. The alleged defendant. That is driving me crazy. I don't know why, but it's driving me crazy because he's not the alleged defendant. He's the alleged suspect. He is the defendant, and it's driving me crazy. Every time he says that, I'm just like, no, you are not the alleged defendant. You are. Okay, Ozzy. I think that's what it is. Yes, it's longer because it sucks. Exactly. Wait, what? Judy said something. Oh, there's one in his kitchen called The Business. That sounds pretty similar to this one. Yeah, because when you're a bad rapper, all your songs sound the same. Yeah, he's no Eminem. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Rap song's supposed to have a chorus, like, guess who's back, 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 back again. Yeah, that gets stuck in my head. That song does not get stuck in your head. Learn to rap, Darrell. Well, you have plenty of time to work on your music. And all this prop set up.
Good afternoon, ma'am. If you would please make your way to the
Business featuring Taylor Shabusiness.
witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. It is up a riser. Be mindful of that. And then my clerk to read your name.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you, ma'am. Please have a seat. The first thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Heather Reamer, Heather Riemer.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir, your witness.
Good afternoon, Ms. Reamer. How are you feeling today?
I'm okay.
I want to direct your attention to the evening of November 21st of 2021. Do you recall what you were doing that evening?
I was at the Waukesha Christmas parade.
And do you recall who you were with at the parade?
I was with my husband and 3 friends and 1 of their children.
About what time, if you recall, did you and your family arrive?
Right before it started, we were running late, and then by the time we got to where we were seated, it was right before it started. I don't recall exact time.
Do you recall where you and your family were positioned along the parade route that evening?
At the time, I don't remember, but I later found out that it was the Historical Society.
What do you recall weather-wise that evening? Was it a pretty chilly evening?
Yes.
If you recall?
Yes.
Why?
Pretty windy?
Why?
Yes.
Monkey see, monkey do. He's trying to act like a lawyer.
I'm assuming at some point you observed it. And do you recall what that commotion was?
Everyone running around was the biggest commotion.
At that point, did the area you were positioned in get?
Yeah, screaming gets loud.
Before, do you remember what you and your family were doing directly prior to the parade that evening?
I don't recall.
At the point you observed this commotion, what did you do from that point?
Started running.
I'm assuming you and your family all took the same course of action.
We all ran, yes.
And where did you run to?
Away from the parade route. I'm not familiar with streets. I'm thinking it's east.
Wait a minute. Carla Beltane, you have not seen this trial? Oh, good Lord. You gotta go back. Yeah, you have got to go back. This man, this is the most hilarious and most frustrating. Well, maybe with your blood pressure, you don't need to go back. Biggest joke ever. It's hilarious and frustrating at the same time. All at the same time. This man is... There are no words to describe
Have no
this
fear.
man.
Justice shall prevail. The courts will decide. They say a man who represents himself has a fool for a client. Well, with God as my witness, I am that fool.
Avenue. We ran down that road.
Would that be a side street connected to the main parade route? Or?
Yes, it was a perpendicular route.
Do you recall if that side street was barricaded in any way?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if there were any law enforcement officers stationed at that side street?
I don't
Hey,
recall.
Nancy.
Did you, at any time during the the commotion when you and your family were at the parade, do you recall seeing anything that drew your attention in any way?
Yes.
And do you recall what that was that you saw?
A red Ford SUV driving through faster than all the other cars in the parade.
And what did you observe this vehicle doing at the time that it caught your attention?
It was honking. Well, I heard honking. I'm not positive if it was the red SUV or another car alerting.
Did you notice any other vehicles around the vehicle you saw, following the vehicle you saw?
Following, no. It passed a float that had a vehicle in the parade. So it was by another vehicle, yes.
And it was passing the other vehicle you're referring
Yes.
to, correct? And you stated a reference to.
Yeah, Nancy, that was his big reveal. Yeah, Nancy, that was his big reveal when he did his opening statement. He took off his mask and he's like, most of y'all have only ever seen me in a mask, or you've seen me sitting here with a mask on the whole time. Well, I'm going to take it off now and you can see the real me, or some crap like that. I don't remember word for word what he said, but it was like a big reveal. Now you get to see me. It was ridiculous. Ugh. What an insufferable little man, I swear. Yeah, he thought he was being slick with his big reveal.
Honking.
That's hilarious,
in your
Ozzy.
opinion, strictly your opinion, why would a vehicle honk its horn?
To alert somebody.
Do you recall I'm assuming at some point the vehicle passed the position where you were. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That smile was like a kid on Christmas morning. And I missed it. I missed it. Like, I was like, why is he smiling like that? The smile it was out of context for what happened. And I was like, what happened? What did I miss? And I went back because I was like, why is he laughing like that? Or like he was smiling, but he was like holding his hand over his mouth after he smiled, like he was trying to hold back laughter. And I was like, what did I miss? And then I went back and all I missed was that they weren't going to cross the witness. And the smile and the laughter was completely out of context for what had just happened. Like it was an overreaction. And I was like, okay, alrighty then. Like what? But yeah, he thought that was great that they didn't cross his witness, which is actually the opposite. If they don't cross, it means your witness didn't move the needle at all.
Yes.
At any time during the vehicles passing you, did you see who was driving the vehicle?
No.
Did you notice if they were intense to the vehicle as far as windows?
Ma'am, can you speak up a bit?
Oh, I don't recall.
Thank you.
Do you recall if you were able to see into the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you got a chance to catch the license plate number of the vehicle?
No, I didn't.
your recollection, when the vehicle passed you, were the windows up or down?
I don't recall.
And did you at some time report what you saw to law enforcement that evening?
That evening, I did not know.
Did you at any time report what you had saw that evening to law enforcement?
Yes.
And do you recall what agency that law enforcement officer was from?
I don't recall. I'm gonna assume Waukesha, but I don't recall.
And during the course of reporting what you saw, was it more of a recorded interview, or were they writing down what you were telling them?
I was on the phone, so I don't know what they were doing.
Okay. Do you recall if that was in the days following the incident or a little longer after that?
It was after the incident. I don't know how long after.
Upon arriving at the parade that evening with your family, did you notice any of the side streets barricaded in any way? Any of them?
Yes.
Do you recall if there were law enforcement officers at those barricaded side streets?
I don't recall.
Do you recall about how long the parade had been ongoing before you saw this vehicle?
I don't recall.
And from that point, did you and your family immediately leave the parade and head home, or?
We left. We didn't head home.
Did you or any of your family members suffer any injuries during this incident?
No.
I would say state of Wisconsin v. Darrell Edward Brooks Jr. I guess. I don't know. I've never been served a subpoena.
At any time after the incident, do you recall seeing any news reports related to this incident?
Yes.
Did you keep up with those reports, or was it just that evening or the days?
Just a couple days within whatever was right immediately. I'm not a person to watch the news.
And after that initial phone conversation with law enforcement, did any more law enforcement officers follow up with you about the report?
No.
Did you yourself follow up with law enforcement after that
No.
initial report? Did you yourself observed the vehicle that passed you during the parade, did you yourself witness anyone injured by the vehicle?
I don't believe so.
That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Any cross?
Yes, briefly. Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Reamer. Thank you for being here today.
Yes.
I'd like you to take a look at the man seated to my right, table to your left, Mr. Brooks. You ever seen that man before?
Said to being called that name.
Noted. Overruled.
Yes.
Tell us about when you've seen Mr. Brooks before.
Objection leading.
It's cross-exam, so it's proper. They may lead. You may ask. You may answer.
As we were driving to the parade, we were coming to a stoplight and we saw the red SUV coming down the wrong way on the road, and I slowed down because the car in front of me started to back up to let him through.
This took place outside of a gas station, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask that we display for everybody exhibit number 7. It's previously been received and published.
Go ahead.
Objection to relevancy.
Exhibit 7 has previously been received. Overruled.
Is it relevant to this particular witness?
Yes, it is. Yes, go ahead and publish, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Reamer, can you see the map depicted on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
We're looking at the intersection of North Street, the gas station that we're talking about,
Correct.
and you were parked on North Street facing southwestbound at the time, is that right?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Is that the way of traffic? I don't know.
Well, let's assume, based on these arrows here,
Yep.
Objection, speculation.
Yep. They're on the map. Overruled. Her answer was yes, and you may ask the next question.
Madam Clerk, can we please clear the annotations? And you saw the red SUV that we've been talking about come the wrong way on North Street, is that right?
Correct.
And what happened after that?
Should I draw?
Sure, yep, that's a touchscreen, go for it.
So I stopped roughly back here as the car that was here started to reverse this way.
Okay, can we please, let's get a screen grab of this, please, Your Honor, and mark it as Exhibit 7.
It'll be C as in cat. Or Charlie.
C, Charlie, please.
It will be so marked. And just for the record, the green line was placed by Attorney Wichow from, as you're looking at the exhibit, left to right to demonstrate travel of a vehicle in his question. And then the witness put the yellow marks on the screen, and it will be received as 7C as in Charlie. Go ahead.
Objection to relevancy.
Overruled.
You saw Darrell Brooks driving that red SUV in front of that gas station, is that correct?
Objection.
At that time, I didn't know.
Being called that name, and it's speculative.
Overruled. You may answer.
At that time, I didn't know his name, but yes.
But now that you see him sitting in court today,
Yes.
that's the guy.
Yes.
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. The record will reflect the identification of the defendant as the driver of the red SUV she saw as depicted in this exhibit.
Thank you. May we please display for everybody exhibit number 15, which has also previously been received and published.
Go ahead.
Can we zoom in, please, on the intersection of Main Street and Northeast Avenue?
Objection, relevancy.
I presume the question will provide the relevance, so go ahead.
Thank you. You were sitting in front of the Historical Society, you testified?
Yes.
And do you recognize this map in front of you?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
No, I don't.
Okay. Would the Historical Society be near this intersection that I'm circling, East and Main?
Yes.
Okay, we can please remove that annotation, Madam Clerk. When you saw the red SUV drive by, you testified you could not see the driver, correct?
Correct.
Because it was going so fast?
Yes.
Did you ever see that SUV come to a stop at any point on Main Street?
No.
In fact, did you see it accelerate as it traveled towards more people?
Yes.
Objection speculative.
It says, overruled, the witness may answer.
Sound like you was going to say some
Check
stuff.
zero.
And then I remembered you had called the witness, not the state. So cross-examination is appropriate. So,
Is he
next
laughing?
question.
Did we get an answer on that?
I said yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I
Not
have.
funny, dude.
Redirect, sir.
Yes.
Do you want any of the exhibits out?
I forgot what the one was before this.
7.
7.
7 was the map with, the gas station. This is 15. I'm going to turn it off until you tell me you need something. All
I need exhibit 7.
right, the state would put that up and we'll publish it for the jury as well.
And when shown this exhibit on cross, you stated you were approximately around. As a matter of fact, that wouldn't be fair. Can you erase that that mark, please?
It's clear.
Were you show again where your vehicle was positioned?
It's just a rough estimate, but
Okay.
probably right about here.
And where we?
That's when I initially slowed down to stop.
Okay. And you stated there was another car that did a backing up motion. Can you show again where that vehicle was positioned?
If they were at the light going this way, backing up.
If you recall, or do you recall, if there were any vehicles in this space right here?
There was no.
Rough estimate, about how far would you estimate the distance is between your vehicle and the vehicle that was at the light? Rough estimate.
I never came to a complete stop back there. It's when I started to slow down.
So you were still kind of rolling forward a little bit?
Yes. Because they backed up and then moved forward. And so then I moved forward.
So you didn't come to a stop until you noticed that vehicle backing up?
No. I didn't come to a complete stop until we were back up at the light. I started to slow down at that point.
So where did you end up? I'm sorry, can you erase the white circle?
I can erase all of it or none of it?
The white circle.
Only, I think it's just all or nothing.
Oh, all. I'm sorry. So we'll start this again. Where did you finally come to a complete stop at, if you recall? And at that time, well, back up a little bit before I get to that. You observed an SUV, you say, at some point before you came to a complete stop?
Yes.
And what did you see that vehicle do?
Drive this way.
What did you see it do after you noticed that it was coming in that direction?
Turn in here.
Would that be into the gas station?
Yes.
And what did you see the vehicle do at that point?
Roll down their window and yell something at the car in front of me.
Did it stop?
Yes.
Was it? I'm assuming you might know what I mean by this. Was it like a brake stop or was it a park stop? If you recall.
If you're not in the vehicle, how do you know that they put it in park?
Well, brake stop would be brake lights, but okay.
Objection, move to strike.
I'll grant that, strike the last statement made by the defendant, but you may ask your next question.
And how long were you at the light?
Just a very short time. It turned green pretty quickly.
And in that short time, you were able to see who was driving the vehicle, the SUV, as you say, that went into the gas station?
Yes.
Is that the same SUV you saw at the parade that evening?
Yes.
The same vehicle that you said you don't recall if it was tinted or not?
Yes.
So at the point of seeing this vehicle at the gas station, at that point, did you notice any tints?
I don't recall.
Did you notice if there was anyone else in the vehicle at that time?
I only saw one person.
Could you see into the back of the vehicle?
I don't recall.
Can you see the passenger seat of the vehicle?
Yes.
Was anybody in the passenger seat?
No.
But you don't know for sure about the back seat?
No, I couldn't see it.
Why does he keep asking that question? He was clearly driving. Why does it matter if he has passenger?
Can we take down this Exhibit 7?
Go ahead.
Pull up Exhibit 15. Can we pull that back up?
The state would please pull that up. We'll publish that for everyone.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And
Hold on, let's make sure the jury has it.
oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. No problem, go ahead.
And you stated that you were in front of the Historical Society?
Correct.
That's the answer. What are you doing?
And if I recall, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that would be somewhere around this area here?
Yes.
Sir,
Can
was
we,
that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Can
you.
we erase that white? So the side streets, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tap the screen. Can you erase that? I'm sorry. The side streets would be Buckley Street and Northeast Avenue. Would that be fair to say by looking at the map?
Yes, that's what the map shows.
And you said you don't recall if those side streets were barricaded.
I wasn't at the intersection. The
You were-
Historical Society is at that intersection, but I was in front of the Historical Society.
So would it be fair to say you were close to the side street?
I was close, but not at it, so I don't know if there was barricades there. I wasn't close enough to see to be by barricades.
So you stated you ran away from the commotion, so it would be fair to say at some point you moved from your position in front of the Historical Society, correct?
Correct.
And do you recall what side street you went down to when you were running?
We ran up to the building of the Historical Society on the side of East Avenue.
We can, just really quick, so that would be this side street here.
Yes.
We could take down exhibit, is it 15? And you stated stated that you knew the identification of the driver of this SUV based on what you observed at the gas station, correct?
Can you repeat that?
You stated that you, let me back up. You were able to identify the driver of this SUV based on what you observed at the gas station, correct?
The gas station, I saw the driver, yes.
Do you recall what the driver was wearing when you observed him at the gas station?
At the gas station, no.
Do you yourself recall in your telephone conversation with law enforcement stating that the driver was wearing a red-orange shirt?
That was not from the gas station.
So where would that description come from, if not the gas station?
I saw video footage of you in somebody's backyard.
What the fudge is
So
that
what did
face
you observe
for?
the driver of the vehicle wearing at the gas station?
You're such a creep.
So it'd be fair to say that in your phone conversation with law enforcement, you gave a description based on what you had seen from footage. I guess that would be the right word to use.
The shirt color, but your description was from the face was from the gas station.
And do you recall in that phone interview stating that you weren't positive on the shirt color?
Yes.
Do you recall in that phone interview stating that since seeing the news that you may be getting the clothing description incorrect?
I remember saying that I've seen the news. I don't remember saying that that is why I'm getting it. It wasn't the same as when you were driving.
So would it be fair to say that your description came from watching footage at some point and from news reports at some point?
Not news reports.
But you did see this incident reported on the news?
Yes.
Did you see where the vehicle went when it passed your position?
Objection, could we just clarify whether that's at the gas station or the parade?
Fair. Sustained.
Sorry for that, I'll clarify.
Thank you.
Do you recall seeing where the vehicle went when it passed your position at the parade that evening?
Continued down the parade route.
And you already stated that during the parade, seeing the vehicle and not seeing the driver, how are you sure that that driver of the vehicle you saw at the gas station was the same vehicle at the parade?
I know that they were both red SUVs, Ford SUVs.
Were you yourself sure that they were the same vehicle?
They were the same model, same color, same make.
So what is the make and model, if you recall, of the vehicle that you saw at the gas station?
Ford Escape.
And how did you come to that determination based on your observation at the gas station?
Because I know a decent amount of cars.
What do you mean by decent?
I mean, I don't know all makes, but I know this one for sure because I had a friend that had the same exact make and model, just different color.
So are you yourself able to just look at a vehicle and tell the make and model?
Some, yes.
Oh my God.
So it'd be fair to say some, not all.
Correct.
Darrell, you need to work on your acting skills and your rap skills. Jeez.
So that brings me back to the driver. You stated you didn't see the driver of the vehicle you saw at the parade. How do you know there was the same driver?
Objection. The states the evidence. She never testified that she knows it's the same guy.
I'm asking how did you...
Rephrase your question, please.
Do you know if it was the same driver?
No.
No further questions?
I think you may step down and you are excused from your subpoena. It is 4:34, so we will end for the day. And I will read my instructions to the jury once again. Do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is presented, and I have instructed you on the law. Do not discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else until your final deliberations in the jury room. This order is not limited to face-to-face conversation of electronic communications. Do not use any electronic devices such as a mobile phone or send or receive any information about this case or your experience as a juror. If you come in contact with the jurors, interpreters, does not speak with them. For their part, the parties, lawyers, interpreters, and witnesses will not contact or speak with the jurors. Do not listen of that. I don't think there's any to that witness, and I required you essentially to call that witness out of the preferred order that you had.
I don't know what his defense is. He just is asking a bunch of stupid questions. They don't make a lot of sense. I really don't know what his defense is. And he tried to get the jury to do jury nullification, and he got in trouble for that. So, yeah, he did the if there's no plaintiff, then there's no crime thing, too. But I don't really call that a defense. I call that stupidity.
Given her availability, I believe you wanted to put on the record the reason to believe that another juror has violated.
I miss my thick hair, y'all. It sucks to get old. I hope it sucks to get old.
Thank you. Be seated. I know, Mr. Brooks, I think you wanted to make a more full record just regarding the timing of that last witness. I'm not going to put all of the details on the record. We made a record in closed session just due to a privacy issue related to that witness. And I required you essentially to call that witness out of the preferred order that you had given her availability. I believe you wanted to put on the record the information you initially had from Attorney Opper was general about her unavailability on Friday, which was the day, as I understand, that you preferred to call her.
That's rough.
And more information was provided today. I don't want to get into the specifics, but would that be a fair characterization of kind of the discussion we had outside the presence of the public?
Yeah, that's fair.
Anything you want to add to that?
Nah, just it pretty much sums it up.
Okay, good. So
I felt that it would be, thinking about it as everything was happening so fast, I was just like, yeah, it probably would be best to, you know, take the procedure that she's having into account, because it could be.
I don't want to go into that while we're still in the public record.
Right.
All right, due to her privacy rights. But I appreciate your understanding with that and calling her. I did require you to call her out of order, but I appreciate your understanding and of that. I don't think there's anything else I need to cover at this time, unless there's something from either one of the parties. From the state first?
No, but we would like some further direction from the defendant as to who he wants here tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, if he wants us just to continue that list that he originally provided, or if there's an update. And we can do that off the record, Your Honor. I don't know that we need you involved, but.
Okay, thank you. Then hopefully the parties can figure that out without me needing to be involved further, but anything from you, sir?
No, I'm just gonna say with that, I'm not gonna put them in specific order.
Not looking for the order, but we're behind given the timetable and the understanding between, as I understand it, between you and the state.
State has the list.
So generally speaking, you've been taking about a half an hour, I would say, for each witness. At least that one took about 35 minutes. If we go on that schedule, do you think, understanding we take a mid-morning break, a lunch break, and a mid-afternoon break, I would think we could get through at least 3 to 4 tomorrow morning and 3 to 4 in the afternoon.
It's gorgeous.
I'm gonna have the parties be available for that and be ready for that, whatever order, but
All the parties?
yes, both you and the state.
So at this point, there's no telling what witnesses will be here tomorrow, right?
Well, based on the groupings that you gave to the state, it sounds like we got through only one from each
Right.
kind of category. So we'll go back to the first would have been Thursday morning. You need to call the rest of Thursday morning. Was there 2 left of that?
Yes, correct.
So
And so let's do Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. The people you designated, I'm going to direct the state to have here tomorrow morning. That's 4 witnesses, whatever order of those 4.
5. It's 5, but yes.
It's 5?
We'll have them here, based on your original list.
And then how many does that leave? Because I'm not
that's what I'm trying to
doing
figure out.
good with math this late in the day. 4, so 4 in the afternoon then. So our hope is to get through all your witnesses
I can say this
tomorrow.
for the record. One witness I intend to call tomorrow is not going to be 35 minutes.
Fair enough. Do you plan to call that person in the morning or the afternoon?
I'm leaning towards the afternoon. That could change depending on the flow of the morning, I would guess. If the morning goes pretty.
Can you tell me which list they were on when you gave it to the state? Was it Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, or Friday afternoon?
He is
I
such
didn't put him on days, but I believe
a
they were in
child
the
right now.
maybe the second floor names.
You
If
just want
that
to tell me who
helps.
it is so we can prepare, so that person is told to come in the afternoon rather than wait through the morning?
I don't want to say who it is.
Well, I want the person to be here when we're ready to go, but
They were here today, if that helps.
Yeah, I know who it is. It's Erica Patterson, Your Honor. There's no
Maybe.
mystery here.
Maybe
all right,
it is,
that's
maybe
what I
it isn't.
would have, kind of who I thought it would be as well.
So,
I'm gonna have her come tomorrow afternoon then. I'm
okay,
not
we
gonna
will
her
have
come
you
in the
here at
morning.
1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
So
Your Honor.
we need
Thank
to be
you.
mindful of people's schedules.
Thank you. We'll have everyone else here at
That's
8:30.
interesting because what if that was not who I was referring to?
Then you need to tell me right now so I can make an alteration to that.
Come on, Judge.
Sir, we're at the end of the 3rd week of trial.
So
I
can we
need
at
to
least
keep
be
this
fair?
moving
Can we at least
along.
be fair and say that's not due to me though?
That would not be fair to say.
How?
It's
How? The state said that they needed 5 to 7 business days to present their case. Did they or did they not say that on the record?
How? I thought Arizona was dry. It's humidity, isn't it, that makes your hair curly? If I blow dry mine with a diffuser, my hair, well, not anymore because it's not thick, but my hair would look like hers when it was real thick. And if I blow dry it with a diffuser, it's wavy like hers. But then it would just, like, because of the weight, then it would just go flat. And the humidity too, I guess. Well, no. Humidity makes it curly, right? I don't know. I don't know. Is it? Yeah, humidity makes frizz. I don't know. My hair is just changing as I'm getting older. I don't know. Oh, you're up in the mountains. Yeah, I don't. My hair used to be like that, and now well, like I said, if I don't blow dry it with the diffuser, it's straight. I mean, there's a little bit of wave, but since I've gotten older, it's just so thin. Like, I can't, like, a ponytail holder won't even stay in it anymore. It's just so, this used to be like a handful of hair. And now it's just like a little bitty. When when it all fell out, when I had cancer, it was straight like this, and it came in, I guess because it was so short, you could see the waves. Because I get the wavy hair from my dad. But when it's long, you can't see it as much. But when it came in, started coming back in after chemo, you could see I had this cute little pixie thing with like waves, little waves everywhere. It was cute. Nexus Therapy and Humetrus. Okay, I'll have to try that. My doctor told me to take B vitamins, but I'm taking B vitamins like crazy. It's not breaking or falling out or whatever it was doing before, because when I wash it now, I don't have handfuls of hair anymore. But it's just so, it's like nothing. It's just, I used to have handfuls, and now I got nothing. Okay, sorry, squirrel.
And there's
So how
it
did
doesn't matter how we got there at this point. I'm trying
Then they
my
need to chop,
darndest
chop.
to get all. So, I'm directing the state to have Miss Patterson come tomorrow afternoon.
If that's
and the
what I
other
was referring to, which
witnesses,
I wasn't, but everybody think they know what I'm thinking.
then you need to tell them if it's someone else, and if you want her here in the morning.
I'll
then
say
that-
this. Everybody that was here today that didn't get called, I have them here tomorrow. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
And you need to tell me who you want in the morning, not by the order, and who you want for the afternoon. Otherwise, I'm going to make the order that I just made.
No, how you gonna make the order for me?
Under 906.11, sir.
No, you can't. I can call. I have the right to call them in the order that the state didn't have to have an order. And I'm guessing.
No, but the
Correct me
state's
if I'm wrong, but
helping you out in terms of the order,
They were helping me out with serving
and
the
they're helping you.
subpoenas. Not the order of how I would call the witnesses, but the subpoenas. And I gave the state.
Do you want to be responsible for calling each person tonight and telling them what time they need to be here? Or should we let the state do
Here we go
that?
with this again. It's something that's impossible to do.
That's not true. You have
How's it
access
not
to
true?
a phone.
So somebody's gonna answer a collect call from someone they don't even know. Nobody in this courtroom will answer a collect call and pay for a phone call from
Not
somebody
my
that you
understanding
not
of
know.
how it works at the jail, that you can,
Yes.
there's other means to make phone calls.
There is no other way to utilize the phone.
Well, maybe I'm wrong on that, but be that as it may, the state is helping you out. This is to make tomorrow go as smoothly as possible, to be effective, to be efficient, and to use all of our time wisely.
Your Honor, with all respect, I did what was asked of me to do. I provided them with the list of the witnesses that I would call. And I stated before that I would not put them in order, and the state accepted the list that I gave them. So why, at this point, is
Who are
everything
the witnesses who are here
being a
today?
problem?
Kohler, Douglas Kohler, Detective Guth, Erica Patterson, Christopher Bertram, and Jason Hayes were here today, in addition to Miss Reimer. Miss Reimer's now done. Nicholas Kirby was also here today. He's done. If we are going to continue to assist Mr. Brooks in getting these witnesses here, we need to have a reasonable time schedule. These witnesses don't just show up by the tooth fairy. We have to communicate with them. They have jobs, they have families. I've explained this 3 times to Mr. Brooks. If he wants our assistance.
Objection, she can chill with all that. She can chill with all that
to-
tone.
hold on. I know
Get on that if that's what it is.
Hey, I know it's been a
Definitely
long
get on
day.
that.
Let's keep this civil.
That's what I'm trying to do, but
So
she gonna have to tone it down.
I think both of the parties are getting a little
For real.
frustrated. I'm getting frustrated. So, I'm
don't
Kohler,
know who they be
Guth,
tonight.
Hayes, Patterson. I missed a 5th.
Bertram.
Guth is a police officer, right?
Yes.
I know who Eric Patterson is. How about Kohler, Hayes, and Bertram? Are those citizens?
They're citizens that relate to the parade, I believe, and post-parade. Not the DV.
It seems to me that even with one of the witnesses taking more than 35 minutes, that doesn't fill up the whole day. So we need to have some other people on that list for the afternoon.
So I will just continue to work in the order of the list that was provided. Your Honor, I think that's the only reasonable thing we can do at this point, or we can do it alphabetical, or we can do it by random lot, because I don't know really what else to do.
By the list that was given.
What was the order of the list that you were given?
The first 3 were Kirby, Kohler, and Guth. The next line has 3 names, Patterson, Bertram, Hayes. The third line has 3 names, Reimer, Aldrich, and Lescano. The last list has 2 names and then also reads the state of Wisconsin.
First 3 people on the list you need to advise to be here tomorrow at 8:30.
Okay.
The next 2 people tomorrow at 10:30. The next 2 people after that tomorrow at 1:30. The next 2 people from there at 3:30. And then do I have anyone left over from there?
No. Yeah.
One more?
No.
If I have to go late tomorrow, then I would say the last person can be at 4:30 if need be.
Yeah, I agree. We would very much like to get through the defense witnesses tomorrow, Your Honor.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, that's the order that I'm making in terms of the times people need to show up. That gives you a range of people to select from.
I'm gonna have to see that, what you're referring to then, because
Oh, I trust you wrote it down because that's what I did.
I
So
didn't. I
we
didn't
are
write
in
it down.
recess Then for the evening, we'll see everyone tomorrow at 8:30
All right.
a.m.
So if they don't get called like that, don't try to blame it on me.
Let's see one thing for Judge Darrell. She starts on time. What, baby?
State.
State your name for the
I'm
record.
here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client. I accept for value and return for value all the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments, and I would like to make a reservation of all my rights at this time.
All right, thank you. The record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is present in person in custody. He is wearing street clothes, specifically a suit and tie, and he is wearing a mask.
And I do not consent to being called that name for the record.
Noted. All right, so Mr. Brooks called a witness yesterday. There was an objection. I sustained it, but he also orally moved to dismiss, and I indicated I would take that up outside the presence of the jury. I didn't do that yesterday, so I just want to put on the record that I'm denying the motion without any further consideration or discussion by the parties. He listed two reasons. One was it had to do when he called the state of Wisconsin as a witness for failing to appear, and then for failing to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. There's no legal basis for those motions in law or in fact, and so that's why I'm denying them on the record today. I'm not asking for any further commentary or statements on the issue.
I object to that.
And I intend to have you call the next witness. I just want to confirm with the state who is here this morning.
I object to that ruling, Your Honor.
Noted for the record.
Present this morning, Your Honor.
I would like a legal finding of fact.
Denied.
Your Honor, consistent with the court's instruction yesterday afternoon, we have present Douglas Kohler, Detective Steve Guth, and Erica Patterson are here now and available.
All right. All right, I expect you to call those first three before we get to any other person, not whatever order you want among the three, but those will be the three people called, and then we'll get to the next people according to the scheduling that I put in place yesterday.
I want to state for the record that I intend to appeal that judicial decision made about the motion to dismiss.
Noted for the record. All right, let's bring the jury out then.
Actually, we didn't address subject matter jurisdiction. It still has yet to be proven for the record, and I wanted to address the fact that with this, is it Kohler? Is that how you pronounce the name? Kohler?
We're going to continue with the witnesses. I've addressed subject matter jurisdiction repeatedly. There's a written decision. I stand behind it. You have three witnesses that you subpoenaed. The state made arrangements for them to be here. Whatever order you want to call them in this morning is fine, but those three are here.
That's what I was trying to address right now. I was asking
Okay,
about
go ahead.
the name.
What do you want to address?
The Kohler, how do you pronounce the name? Kohler? I'm still
I don't know.
having
You'll have to ask the witness.
I'm still having trouble finding the file for that particular witness.
Yeah, call the jury in.
So I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Mr. Brooks, you were well advised. These are your witnesses that the state made arrangements. You knew who was going to be called. I put that on the record yesterday. So of those three, whatever order you want, but I'm not moving past those three to jump to others.
I didn't say anything about moving past the three.
I know that. I'm just setting the tone for today that we're going to keep moving.
Okay, I simply stated I'm not ready to ask that witness questions if I can't even find the
I
your
understand,
paperwork.
but that's you not having your paperwork's on you, not anybody else.
So what am I supposed to ask him?
I can't answer that, sir. You know that.
That's a rush to judgment. You can't rush me to judgment when I'm notifying the court that I cannot find the record.
Well, you
Very
well
I can't
yesterday
find the
without
file
your
for
file,
that.
so
I'm saying
I
that
don't think that's the
particular
issue.
witness.
I'll make a record. Yesterday you asked a question.
Hey, Terry.
Hold on a second. Can you have them step back out? Just so they can. Yesterday, you said you did not have a file for one of the witnesses, and you did a fine job from my perspective. So
I did what?
You did a fine job. I just want to say my assessment.
They also
you did
provided
a good
me
job.
with one sheet for that particular witness at that time. So I
I'm
just went
bringing
off
the
of
jury
that 3
in.
paragraphs.
How you're prepared or not is solely on you, sir. You've had all of this information. Now we're at the end of the 3rd week of trial. These are your witnesses. I presume that you are prepared in whatever way that is.
How
You're
can
not
I
gonna
be
hold it
prepared
up.
for? I'm not. So the witness is just supposed to get up there and just. I'm just like,
I'm
yeah.
not going to have this commentary. Okay, I'm done. The jury's coming out. Be prepared to call
So
one of the
that's a
three.
rush to judgment.
That is not a rush to judgment.
It is a rush to
Again, I'm
judgment.
done. The jury's
It's
coming
clearly
in.
a rush to judgment if I'm telling you that I don't have the
No,
file.
in
How
my
am I
opinion,
supposed?
you're attempting to delay. So
No,
let's
I'm not.
keep
I'm not
going.
attempting to delay nothing. You want to come check the boxes yourself? You always trying to pull some fast maneuvers.
Mr. Brooks,
And Miss Judge, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, the jury's coming in.
Yeah,
Show
and
respect to
they
the
deserve
jury.
to know this too. It's still issues that need to get addressed. We didn't even address everything.
Mr. Brooks, I addressed all of the issues.
No, I
and you
still
know
had another one that didn't have nothing to do with nothing we just talked about.
All
There
right.
was a whole nother issue that needed to be addressed that I needed to
And we'll
bring on
address
the
it
record to
later.
your attention.
We'll address it later.
It needs to get addressed now before we go any further because it's an important matter. Just like the subject matter jurisdiction is important. That hasn't been proven on the record.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Just
this
like
is
the
not
rush to
the
judgment.
time for evidence to be presented or arguments to be made by the
I
parties.
can't
The
even
jury
present
will
any evidence. You won't let me even put
disregard
any evidence in the record.
all of these statements
is a
made
rush to
by
judgment.
Mr. Brooks
That's
at this
unfair.
time. All right.
That's unfair what
The
you're
court
doing.
will address legal matters outside the
Then we
parties.
need to
Everyone can
address
be
the legal
seated.
matter that I was trying to get to before
And
you
you
rush
may call your
everything
next
out.
witness, sir.
I'm not calling any witness until I get an answer, Your Honor. You're a public servant.
Mr. Brooks,
You're supposed to be able to answer simple questions.
Mr. Brooks,
if I'm saying I have to bring
call
it to
your
your
next
attention,
witness, please. That's the stage that
I have
we
to
are
bring
at.
it to your attention, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks,
I'm merely seeking
please
to bring
stop.
an issue to your attention.
I'm telling you to please, I'm asking you to please
And I'm
stop.
asking you,
because
can
we
we
have the
address-
jury present.
I'm asking
and
you-
we need to continue with the evidentiary phase of this trial. Call your next
I'm
witness.
asking you to address a legal matter, as you said, that those have to be taken up outside of the jury.
I will
There
do
was
that
a
at the
legal
next
matter-
break.
There was a legal matter that needed to be addressed beforehand,
I
so
will
we
do
don't
it.
have to take up time,
I will do
valuable
it at the
time
next break.
afterwards to address something that needs to be addressed now. That way,
Mr.
the
Brooks,
court and you
for the
yourself are
third
on
time,
notice.
I will address it at the next break. Call your next witness, please.
Are you asking me?
I'm directing you to call your next witness.
Your Honor, we're not going to move past this, seeing as how you took an oath to protect the Constitution. I have your oath. I have a copy of your oath right here. The oath that you took, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, I'd like to continue with testimony.
Sir.
We have witnesses waiting for you. Please call your next witness.
The oath that you swore to protect the Constitution, which you are now not doing.
Mr. Brooks,
So you're going
call your
against
next
your
witness,
sworn
please.
oath. You're going against your sworn oath.
Mr. Brooks, call your next witness.
As you notify the jury every time when there's legal matters, we take them outside of their presence.
And we're going
I
to take
didn't-
testimony right now. Call your next
I merely
witness.
seek
Let's
to put
go.
you on notice on the record for something that needs to be brought to your attention,
And I
to
will,
the court's attention.
and I will address it at
That's
the
what
next
I'm
break.
merely seeking to do. It's something that shouldn't notify you right from the onset. You'll already know what we're looking at, and we can nip it in the bud before everything starts to roll. And
Mr.
then
Brooks,
it gets
I will
overlooked.
address it at the next break. If you want to write something down, that's fine, and give it to my clerk. I have nothing in writing.
like, I'm done
I know
with
there's
it.
witnesses available
I'm
and ready
on
to
this
go.
crap.
Call your next witness.
Your Honor, Your Honor, you have to answer this
Right
question.
now,
You're
Mr.
making
Brown,
a
this
judicial
is garbage.
determination.
Call
to
your
rush
next
me to
witness,
judgment.
please.
You're rushing me to judgment, Your Honor.
There's no rush to judgment
There
here,
is a rush
sir.
to judgment. If you won't address a legal issue that I informed you that I had some legal issues that needed to be addressed before you just run right past that, Your Honor. You're a public
Mr.
servant.
Brooks,
Are you not a
it is
public servant?
9:37. Call
It is
your...
8:37.
Sorry, 8:37, you're right. Call your next witness.
Your Honor, you're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment. Call your next witness,
We had
please.
a legal matter that needed to be addressed, and I'm merely trying to
And I'm
notify the court.
Telling you
at
I'm
the
denying the
onset-
request to address it at this moment. Call your next witness.
You said what?
I'm denying your request to address it at this moment. Please
How
call.
how can you deny
please
something that we're supposed to do before
Mr.
the jury
Brooks.
even comes out?
call your witness.
I'm not seeking to be disruptive. I'm just seeking to understand why we do this
Everyone
every day.
is in the courtroom waiting for you. Please call your
Your
next
Honor,
witness.
we do this every single day. We've done it every single day. So I'm simply trying to make sure that the court is notified of
Put it
things
in
that need to
writing,
be
hand it to the
discussed.
bailiff, and if I deem it important enough to interrupt the witness, I will, but call your next witness.
How can I call a witness and write something down and do?
You
do
can
both?
take a minute
This
to
is the-
write down what it is.
This
I'm
is
not
the
asking
reason
you
why
to,
it needed to be addressed beforehand.
Mr. Brooks,
That way
the
it
jury
doesn't
is
become an
remaining in
issue.
this courtroom. Call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, you're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment, sir.
Are you not a public servant, Your Honor?
Mr.
Do I
Brooks,
not have your oath of office?
under
3 of them?
90611, this court has the authority, as you know.
Do I not have,
Call-
is this not a copy, or I asked for certified copies that you said on record that you would not provide for no good reason, that these are three
Sir,
of your
you are
oaths
doing this,
right
and I've
here.
repeatedly told you, you can see the jury's here. You're doing this.
Listen,
we
Your
need
Honor,
to go
I'm
forward.
not attempting to delay the proceedings. I'm not attempting to be disruptive. I'm merely trying to notify Your Honor in the court for the record beforehand. That way, everyone's at least on notice of the issues that need to be taken up, instead of waiting until a break or a lunch and things of that nature, which
In
kills
my
valuable
discretion,
time.
it's my authority, it's the courtroom that I'm
Your Honor.
presiding over. I'm not gonna address
Is
that
this-
at this moment.
It's not your
And
oath.
I'm not gonna answer
Did you not
questions.
swear as a public servant that you would protect the
Mr.
United
Brooks,
States Constitution?
he does.
Did you not do
Your
that?
witness.
3
I
times.
call her Karen sometimes.
I have all of it. Here, your oath, Your Honor, as a public servant. And
Mr.
now you're
Brooks,
rushing me to judgment
there's no
when
rush
I'm
to
doing
judgment.
things lawfully by trying to notify you and notify
Her
the court
name is Karen.
of issues that need to be addressed
Mr. Brooks,
beforehand.
we are in
These
the
were issues-
evidentiary phase of this trial.
Your Honor, you're
Call
rushing
your
me to
next
judgment.
witness.
You're rushing me to judgment, Your Honor. And I object
I'm
to
aware
that.
of 3 witnesses
I
who are
object-
here.
I
Call
object to
one of
that.
them, please.
Your Honor, I object to that.
Your objection's noted.
And I want a
Why is it
legal
so hard to pay a
reconsideration of
bill?
your ruling. If not, I reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling.
That's
I
fine.
understand.
I request a
I'll keep
legal or
it.
factual basis for your ruling, a written judicial finding of fact and conclusion of law for your ruling. And if not that, an interlocutory, declaratory appeal for this matter. And if not, these need to be stayed until this matter is before a adjudicated court of competent jurisdiction. Because we have not proven jurisdiction in this court as of yet. Subject matter jurisdiction has not even been proven on the record, Your Honor. I don't even know the true nature and cause of
Mr.
the
Brooks,
charges against me. I don't even understand that part
I
of it.
understand
I haven't
your
been
request.
provided a complaint. I haven't.
She send the jury back
Your
at
Honor, there's so many issues.
Mr.
and
Brooks,
I'm not
we will
attempting,
take-
I'm not attempting to
Mr. Brooks,
be disrespectful in any way.
we
I'm
need
not
to
attempting
continue.
to delay the proceedings
Your
in any
requests
way.
are denied,
Your Honor, I
and I'm going to
respectfully
instruct the
object
jury
that.
at this point to
I
disregard
respectfully
and not
object
consider
to that, Your
any
Honor.
of what has just happened
They're
since you
still
walked in.
there?
It should not be held against Mr. Brooks in any way. These are legal issues that this court may or may not need to address, but they do not bear in any way on ultimately the issues that you as jurors will have to decide. And I'm instructing you to disregard what you have just heard and seen.
Your Honor, with everything that I just said, be made part of the record.
It's on the record. I'm telling the jury that it shouldn't affect anything that they're doing in any way.
Your Honor, it's a
With
rush
that-
it's a rush to judgment
Mr. Brooks,
because, Your Honor, I just showed your oath that you swore to took. You swore you
Mr.
did
Brooks,
this, Your Honor.
please call your next witness.
You took these oath of offices. You did, Your Honor, 3 of them.
I understand my
Which
oath,
is
sir,
very,
very
very
well.
commendable that, you know, that you decided to be a public servant in these type of matters, Your Honor. I respect it to the fullest, but also you have to uphold these oaths that
All right,
you
I'm going to have
took,
to
Your Honor.
excuse the jury since Mr. Brooks
have
is
to-
not calling his witness.
you
We'll
have to-
hopefully
you have
bring
to-
you back out shortly.
You have to honor these oath of offices. You have to, as a public servant, Your Honor. I respect you being a public servant. And this is not to take a shot at you in any way, but these
Mr.
issues
Brooks,
that I have,
stop. Please
they
stop.
need to be addressed. They need
I'm
to be.
excusing the jury. Can you please stop?
Your Honor, this is a rush to judgment. This is a clear bias.
Mr. Brooks, you are to stop talking.
Are you asking me?
I'm advising you, or you will forfeit your right to be present in this
So you're holding
courtroom
me
for
in
the
contempt?
questioning of your first witness.
Because you're holding me in contempt.
I'm not holding you in contempt.
Then how can you remove me from the courtroom when I haven't given consent?
Mr. Brooks, I'm
can you
advising
do
you
that?
at this moment to call your next witness, or you will forfeit the right to call these witnesses.
You can't take my
Under
Sixth Amendment
906.11,
right.
you are
cannot-
refusing to
you
call
cannot-
a witness.
I didn't refuse anything, Your Honor. You can't deny me my Sixth Amendment right, which is
Mr.
to
Brooks,
call
do you want to
witnesses,
be present in
which
this
is to subpoena
courtroom
witnesses.
while you question your first witness? Because it is now 8:44, and you have consistently talked in front of the jury who's no longer in this courtroom on issues that you have been advised and are fully aware are not relevant to their determination, despite what you
This-
believe the law
this didn't have anything
is.
to do with the jury,
Subject
Your Honor.
matter that is what you referenced in front of the
I
jury,
referenced
and then you
that
referenced
after I
my
had raised
oath.
the issues that I was
Subject
trying to
matter
raise.
jurisdiction, as you know, is not
As I
something
don't
the
know.
state has to be, the
It
state
has
must
to be
prove.
proven. It has to be. And
You are
if it doesn't,
frankly
show me
confusing
lawful law.
civil
Show me lawful
jurisdiction
law,
in
Your Honor.
federal cases with criminal court jurisdiction in the state of
You
Wisconsin.
don't have criminal.
That
you
has
don't
been
even
made
have.
abundantly
You don't
clear.
have subject matter jurisdiction or personal jurisdiction.
Mr. Brooks,
Or personal jurisdiction. You don't. You haven't proved.
you
it.
have not,
You
I
haven't proven
excuse
for
the
record.
jury. I'll give you the opportunity to raise whatever issue it was, but you need to do it now or we're moving forward.
That's what I want to do. That's what I was attempting to do.
And if you interrupt me one more time, you're going to go do it from the other courtroom.
And
Because
so
you're
you're
being,
holding me in contempt?
all right. He can go to the other courtroom and we will address these issues because
holding
you
me in
are
contempt?
not being respectful. You are disruptive. You are interrupting. I will give you one more opportunity. Don't interrupt me again. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't sigh at me. You have delayed these proceedings now by 15 minutes because of your nonstop commentary. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to you. What issue do you want to raise, sir?
So are you letting me make an offer of proof of my appeal?
No, because that's not what's relevant at this time, sir. If you don't need to make an offer of proof. Tell me what the issue is. You said
Okay.
you have a legal issue you want to raise before we get going. What is that issue?
Okay. The legal issue is this. Detective under oath in reference to exhibits 13 and 14 that show the backyard of my mother's home, which he stated that he had been to the home, had seen the backyard, all this stuff, when he did not, in fact, even speak with my mother. It was brought to my attention that my mother, in fact, never spoke to any law enforcement from Waukesha.
Would you like to add her to your witness list to call her?
Yes, I would.
All right, that's
because
fine.
she's
That's
willing,
how we'll
she's
address
willing
that.
to come.
But that's not something we needed to address this
It needs
right
to be
away,
addressed
sir.
because of the issue of the subpoena. That's the reason why it needed to be addressed. That's the reason why I was trying to attempt to
It
bring
could
it
have
to
been
your
done on a
attention.
break. All right, so
Would I be?
you're
because I
putting,
have-
you're asking me to add Dawn Woods to the witness list for you.
Yes, but I also have a question about the subpoena
The subpoena for whom?
for my mother. But I would also like to subpoena the phone records so it can be made part of the record of the conversation, since the prosecution listens to all the phone calls. They should be able to have heard that phone call as well. So they should be on notice of what was said.
I don't know what phone call you're referring to. If you're referring to a jail phone call,
I'm referring to a jail phone call that was made last night, October 20th, between 7:54 p.m. and 8:10 p.m., which I'm sure the prosecution has heard by now. And that also brings up the issue of perjury testimony.
Sir, the way that you will address the issues that you're talking about are to call witnesses to challenge that or to present the evidence in support of your position. If you're telling me you need to add Dawn Woods to the witness list, I approve of that. You can fill out a subpoena and I'll direct the state to serve that upon her, and at the appropriate time we'll have her brought. We'll indicate when in the order of folks she can be brought in. So I'll grant that request. In terms of the jail records, you'll have to subpoena the appropriate custodian or a witness who can testify to that.
That's what I was trying to gain knowledge of. Because
well, I can't give you advice on that.
I'm not trying to ask for advice. I was. Is that
That's
legal
asking
for me to
me
subpoena?
for. I can't direct how you do that. I can't tell you how to do that. You are acting as your own attorney, and you will need to figure that out. So you have the subpoena forms. You can research the issues. You have access to legal research materials and other things, and that's how you'll have to address
I
that.
accept for value in return for value this document.
Was that a subpoena form? It is. Thank you. Is there any other witnesses you're asking to add to your, and you can also call Detective Casey if you want, just so you know.
So that make 3 times he's able to testify?
If you believe he has information that he hasn't testified to, I will give you permission to call him as well.
No, I don't think it'd be necessary. He know what he did.
Well, in any event.
He know what he didn't do.
We're gonna bring the jury back out, and then I expect you to call a witness.
And just so I'm clear, because I was trying to get to that issue, what witnesses are here? Because I don't have any paperwork for Kohler. I don't know.
Douglas Kohler, Stephen Guth, and Erica Patterson. Of those 3, I expect you to call one of those witnesses.
I accept for value in return for value this document.
For the record, Judge, Attorney Wichow just handed to the defendant for his benefit the police report as it relates to the statement of Douglas Kohler, since he's claiming he does not have it.
Since I know that I don't have it. So let's make that record correct.
You don't have it with you in the courtroom is what you're saying.
I can't find it anywhere.
You've had it previously.
Yes, I had it at one point.
All right. Are you ready to proceed forward, Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
All right, let's bring the jury out.
Jen. Zach, can you help Jen? I think she wants help on that.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Mr. Brooks, just to make sure, don't block any of the microphones with anything. Both of those microphones should be on. You want to make sure that. Thank you. All right, go ahead. Call your next witness.
Yeah, the defense calls Douglas J. Kohler.
All right. Good morning, sir. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is up toward me, up one riser, and to my right. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Thank you, sir. Have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Douglas Kolar, Douglas Kolar.
Go ahead, your witness.
Good morning, Mr. Is it Kolar?
Kolar.
Kolar. Good morning, Mr. Kolar. I want to direct your attention to November 21st of 2021. Do you recall that evening pretty well?
Fairly well, yes.
Well, let me back up for a minute. First of all, what do you do for a living?
I'm an IT director for a law firm.
Been doing that for a long time?
I've been in IT for over 20 years.
Yeah, that is a long time. Direct your attention back to the night of November, evening of November 21st, 2021. What did you do that day?
Well, that day, I was preparing my daughter to march in the parade with her dance troupe. Watched football earlier in the day and got her dressed, and we had to change our plans last minute because my son was not feeling well. So it was just my daughter and I that went to the parade.
And do you recall what time you arrived at the parade?
It was at least an hour before the start time of the parade.
And do you recall where you were positioned at in the parade?
I moved with the dance troupe, so I
kind of going with the flow.
Correct.
And at some point, you observed something happening. Would that be fair to say?
It's okay. The bad
Yes.
man is in prison.
Do you recall what that was?
Don't cry.
Well, after my daughter had finished and I was walking back to our vehicle to go home, I noticed as we were approaching White Rock, which is what we were parked off of, I noticed a vehicle coming through where the parade participants were going. It was a red vehicle. It was honking its horn. It passed a few parade entries on the right-hand side, and then it passed between two of the groups. It veered to the left and went around the next group on the left-hand side, at which point a police officer attempted to approach the vehicle. That police officer had reached for the door handle, and at the time of that approach, the vehicle started to speed off.
Is the only Pennywise for me. I'm sorry.
I just want to back up just a little bit. You stated that you heard the vehicle honking its horn.
While it was on White Rock Avenue, it was honking its horn.
In your opinion, did the vehicle appear to try to avoid hitting people?
At that point, yes.
And you made reference to it coming in, the vehicle coming in contact with an officer. Did you see where the vehicle went after that interaction with the officer?
There was no contact between the officer and the vehicle. The vehicle attempted to make contact. The officer attempted to make contact. But after that attempt, the vehicle sped southward. You know, I know those streets don't run straight north-south on Main Street.
Did you notice the vehicle strike anyone at that time?
I did not.
And what did you do after you saw the vehicle? Once it was out of your view?
Once it was out of my view, I grabbed my daughter and walked as fast as I could to my car.
And to the best of your recollection, how would you describe the vehicle as far as make and model?
Hello?
To the best of your recollection.
You must
To
be
the
allergic
best
to
of my
the glue on the
recollection
patch.
today, I only remember a red SUV.
At some point, did you report to law enforcement officers what you had observed that evening?
The parade, I sent an initial statement to the police.
Would that have been the Waukesha Police Department?
Yes, it was to the Waukesha Police Department.
Did you said you sent a statement. Did you initially speak with anyone verbally?
Initially, no, I did not.
Speak is verbally, stupid.
At some point, did you speak with someone verbally?
Yes.
And was that sometime after the Tuesday statement that you initially gave?
Yes, approximately 2 weeks after I made my statement, I was contacted by someone with the Waukesha Police.
Do you recall if the vehicle had any tinted windows?
I believe it, like most SUVs are.
And after you had verbally speaking with law enforcement, did you do any follow-up on the reports after that?
Yes. The officer that I spoke to had advised me to add to my statement the items that we had talked about.
The law enforcement officer asked you to add certain things to your report?
He had asked me some questions, and the questions that we talked about on the phone, he asked me to add to what I had initially submitted.
And after that conversation, did you have any further conversations after that point?
I had no further conversation after that point.
Had you yourself been contacted by any further law enforcement after that point?
No.
So it'd be fair to say that you were subpoenaed to testify at some point. That'd be fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall when you received that subpoena?
I received my subpoena last Tuesday.
You're the one that subpoenaed him, stupid.
The 18th?
Whatever day last Tuesday is.
Do you recall whom you received that subpoena from?
The Waukesha County Sheriff. Or
Do you
one
recall?
of the sheriffs.
I'm sorry.
Or one of the sheriffs.
Oh. And did you do any follow-up information once you received the subpoena? Like, for example, sorry. For example, calling the district attorney's office?
I did not call the district attorney's office. I did reach out to the clerk's office to see if there was any further information.
Were you or your daughter injured in any way during this incident?
No, we were not.
Why did he call this guy? How do you even know this guy existed?
No further questions at this time.
Thank you. Any cross?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Cohen.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. To be clear, sir, the subpoena you received was issued on behalf of the defendant, Darrell Brooks, correct?
I don't know. That information was not filled out on the subpoena.
Okay. You did provide a typed statement to the Waukesha Police Department, correct?
Objection, leading.
And
Let me rule on it first before you answer. Overruled. Go ahead. And his answer, I believe he answered it, but if not, did you answer it?
I'll ask again.
Thank you.
You did provide a written statement to the police department, correct, sir?
Objection, leading.
Overruled. It's cross. 90611 sub 2.
Yes, I provided a written statement.
And in that statement, you described the SUV as driving erratically down White Rock Avenue, correct?
We already told him that.
Objection. Didn't
He
testify to
forgot,
that.
apparently.
That was asked and answered.
It was asked already.
Overruled. The witness may answer. And it's sub 3, not sub 2, by the way. Go ahead.
Yes, just the event of driving past some participants on the right and then veering to pass a next group on the left.
Okay. You said at that point, when the vehicle was on White Rock, it was honking its horn, correct?
Correct.
There was no objection. You can answer.
And you saw an officer run up and try and open the door to the vehicle, correct?
I don't know that he was trying to open the door, just trying to, I don't know what he was trying to do. He ran and his arm had gone towards the door handle.
Okay. And that was at the intersection of White Rock and Main Street, correct, sir?
Yes.
And you got a look at the driver of the car, correct, sir?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, I did.
And you described the driver in your written statement as a black male with dark dreadlocks and visible tattoos. Is that correct, sir?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes.
Is that consistent with your memory, sir?
Objection speculative.
Overruled.
That is consistent with my memory today.
Once the vehicle went past the officer, you indicated that you saw it accelerate or speed off. Is that correct, sir?
Objection leading.
Overruled. 906.11 sub 3.
Yes, at that point, it sped away.
Thank you, sir. I don't have any other questions.
Any redirect?
Briefly.
Go ahead.
Referring to the written statement that was just testified to the best of your recollection, do you recall stating that the SUV was a older model red Chevy Blazer?
I do recall putting that down at the time, but that was at that addition that I added 2 weeks later.
So at that time, during the evening of the incident, to the best of your knowledge, that would have been your opinion of the vehicle that you saw?
At the time of that, the day of the parade, I just remembered the red SUV.
To the best of your recollection, what assumption would lead you to describe the vehicle as a Chevy Blazer?
I believe in my assumption, it was just to say it was a older, boxy style SUV, and in my mind, that relates closely to a Chevy Blazer.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. You may step down. And you also are excused. Thank you for being here. You may call your next witness.
Okay, question. Are we staying with Brooks or are we going to the other trial? I don't care. I got 12 people watching this, so I want to do what you guys want to do. Stay, go. I'm perfectly content with either. Stay. Yeah, other trials live. Other trial? Okay. Okay. All right, then I will see you at the... Okay, I will see you at the other trial in a few minutes. And this should redirect. Although for some reason it never works for Marty. But it should redirect you.